Hey everybody, it's Kent again with Void Realm Minis. I started sculpting an Aboleth last week in virtual reality, and I went ahead and finished it up and have gone ahead to print it. So I thought I'd show you guys the final sculpt in virtual reality and then the next steps that I took to get it ready for printing. This sculpt is currently available for free to my patrons. If you go to patreon.com, right up there, /Void Realm Minis, subscribing at any level, gets you early access to all of the monster manual sculpts that I do. He'll eventually be released for free to the public, so if you just hang tight for a few more weeks, he will eventually be available for everybody to download and print at home. But I really appreciate patron support. It really helps me keep doing what I love to do. This is the Aboleth. So this is the final result in virtual reality. He's not ready to be printed yet, but these are sort of the primary forms that I wanted to go ahead and nail down in Adobe Medium. That's the software that I'm using in virtual reality. And just so you guys a little bit about how he ended up. He's still in a couple different layers: his body, his head, all of his tentacles, things like that. Can be separated. And so from here, what I did was take it into ZBrush and clean it up and tool it and decimate it and get it ready for printing. So I'll show you guys that if I can click this, punch this window right here. There we go. So this is the Aboleth now in ZBrush. This is the final version that's ready to be 3D printed. So you can see it looks pretty similar to the VR version. Some of the textures on the side of his body are cleaned up and refined. I did a lot of work tooling it into separate clear pieces for easier printing, and went ahead and decimated it down. You can see now it's all triangles, which the printer likes. It's a total of 500,000 polygons. And I split it into 3 different pieces. The tail, the head, and then the body and the base are connected together. So that's the final sculpt with a little bit of cleanup in ZBrush. And from there, I go ahead and make my renders. Here we go. So this is a setup that I have. I use Cinema 4D and Octane to render these cards out. It's really important to me that they all look similar, all of the monsters that I make. So I have a template kind of studio setup environment with a couple cameras and some lighting options to get a good render of the Aboleth. I also like to include for people kind of an alternate view that shows off the model a little bit more plainly. This is helpful for people trying to visualize it as a tabletop monster, and then also do a test print of it as well. So I set up the supports and run it through my printer to make sure that everything prints out okay, and assemble it and try to get a nice photograph of it too. Like I said, this model will be eventually released for free to the public, and anybody that subscribes to my Patreon gets early access. You also get to help me decide which monster manual model I'm going to sculpt next, and you get a lot of cool original miniatures from my own line of monsters at a really good deal. It's about $5 right now to sign up, and you get probably easily over 20-25 bucks of miniatures. Like I said, I really appreciate the support, and doing these free monster manual sculpts are a lot of fun, and hopefully a way that I'll be able to continue to give back to the gaming community. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more. I'm going to start trying to get a little more on YouTube more often, maybe do some live streams. So subscribe if you like to keep in touch with what I'm doing, or you can find me on Facebook, Void Realm Minis, obviously on Patreon. And that's all for now.